Hi boys and girls, today we're going to read a nonfiction book called Creatures, Yesterday and Today by Karen Patah. Creatures Yesterday. Diplodocus. I was a giant plant-eating dinosaur with a big heart and a tiny brain. My neck was so long I could nibble fern leaves in the forest while standing in an open field. And look how long his neck is, and here the picture continues. And today, Skylark. As I fly, you can hear my warbling song like a theropod of long ago. I have a wishbone, scaly feet, and hard-shelled eggs. Am I a living dinosaur? Mollusks. Camerococcus. I was a huge jet-propelled cone with eyes, a beak, and many arms. I could squirt a thick black cloud of ink into the waves whenever I needed to escape. Blue-ringed octopus. Find me in a tide pool or a warm shallow reef. I have a soft body and 8 arms with suction cups. If my blue rings glow, back away. My bite can be deadly. And so you can see that definitely this octopus is similar to this one, only this one has 10 legs, this one only has 8. And do you see how much larger it is in size? We'll see if that pattern continues. Reptiles. Hylominus. A pioneer, I climbed out of the lagoon onto dry land. Being cold-blooded, I warmed up or cooled off with the temperature of the air around me. And then they're comparing it to the panther chameleon. I have feet and a prehensile tail, just right for clasping branches. My skin changes color according to the light and what mood I'm in. My tongue is lightning fast. And a prehensile tail just means one that can clip around and grab something, kind of like a monkey's tail. Fish. Odoncal osteus. A ferocious carnivore, I scoured the ocean for a tasty meal. My jaws were like huge scissors with sharp, jagged edges. Bony armor covered my head and neck. Comparing it with the sergeant major. Above a bright coral garden, I swim with my school. My air bladder keeps me afloat while my gills filter oxygen from the water. Like you, I have a bony skeleton inside me. Arachnids. A brontoscorpio. Look out! I could paralyze you with a sting from my tail or pinch you with my pedipalps. Breathing through my book lungs, I marched from the floor of the ocean onto the shore. A fat-tailed scorpion. A predator, I rest in my burrow in the daylight. After dark, I venture out into the desert. Comb-like sensors on the underside of my exoskeleton tell me where I am. And again, these two creatures look amazingly similar, except that the scorpions of today are much smaller. Sea jellies. Rhizostomites. You'll have to forgive me, these words are hard. My round, squishy body was called a bell. I had stinging cells on my oral arms around my mouth. I used them for self-defense and to trap a fresh seafood dinner. And they're comparing it with a tola jelly. So fragile, I may tear apart if you touch me. Through bioluminescence, I light up the briny deep. I move by a pulsing motion, gracefully afloat. Birds. Florus raucus. I was called a terror bird, an awesome flightless bird of prey. I would charge over vast plains. Could you guess my immense bones were hollow and lightweight? Bird of paradise, perched high in a tree in the rainforest, I do a splendid courtship dance. My noisy squawk is heard from dawn till dusk. I gobble up insects, worms, fruit, and seeds. Amphibians. Ithiostega, an aquatic trepopod, I paddled in the swamp that cradled my jelly-like eggs. Breathing was easy with my nose in the air, but scrambling up the bank was hard. They're comparing it with an emperor newt. Starting out as a tadpole in a stream, I transform through metamorphosis. My gills turn into lungs. I sprout legs for walking on land. At times, I still like to go for a swim. And again, they're not really that different looking, but this one is huge and this one is tiny. Mammals. A smilodon. I was a fierce saber-toothed cat known for my enormous front fangs. A sly hunter, I lay in wait in tall grass to ambush quarry. If you made me angry, I would roar. And then comparing it with the cheetah. My claws grip the ground as I race across the savannah. I use my long, muscular tail for balance. The fastest runner on earth, I dash away. I do not have time to stay and fight. So, both cats, but this one was a ferocious fighter, and this one uses its speed so that it doesn't have crustaceans. Canada aspis. I had eyes on stalks and antennae on my head. A bottom feeder, I used my mandibles to grind my food. With a carapace to protect me, I scuttled over the seabeds. Mandibles are like their teeth and jaws, okay? And a carapace is like the shell, like a turtle has. Antarctic krill. At night, I surface in icy saltwater to feast on phytoplankton. I sink to great depths when I am full. As I grow, I shed my tough outer casing over and over again. And again, you see, they're similar, but look how much bigger animals long ago were compared to today. Insects. Meganeura. I was one of the very first animals to fly, and perhaps the biggest insect ever. Imagine the buzz my four wings made as I zoomed through the steamy woods. Versus a scarlet skimmer. See me dart, dip, and dive in the sunshine. I'm snacking on insects in midair. Below is the pond where I hatched into a nymph before I developed into a dragonfly. And this is our last set of animals that they're comparing, but once again, look, they're really very similar, but this thing is huge. I think I'd have freaked out if that thing had come flying over my head. What do you think, boys and girls? It looks to me like animals long ago are similar to animals of today, but they were much larger. I hope you'd enjoyed our book.